I wanted to investigate what would have to occur globally for XRP to represent $1 million per token. As Jake Claver just mentioned, a $1 million per XRP token. This is what I have been able to locate and uncover after delving deeply into the study and facts. Additionally, I wanted to go and discuss the quantum liquidity model that Jimmy Valley, Molly Elmore, and their colleagues have developed here. We'll go over all of this. This is how XRP may rise to several $100,000 per token. We've never been able to locate these legendary creatures or places, but they're always in the back of our minds, and we're always wondering if we'll ever get to see them. Isn't that how it feels to hear stories about Bigfoot or Atlantis? Let me now play the video that initiated this whole situation, and we'll discuss all the research that went into it. It sounds good. Thus, the price projection for XRP. Just ETFs, I believe that $10 to $50 is a really fair amount. You could easily have a 3 or 4-digit XRP by the end of 2025, 2026, or 2027 if we have all of the other catalysts, which I believe we will once more. I give it a 95% chance that it happens this year. I believe that derivatives will be tokenized, which will result in XRP trading at a 5-figure price. Whoa. Beyond that, if real estate and all these other rural assets are tokenized, and 85% of them end up on the chain by the end of 2030, XRP will have 6 digits by which time. Then, if you wanted to go any farther, I really believe that if you give it 10 years, it will hit the $1 million threshold. After 10 years, it would reach the $1 million threshold. Now, half of you will be sitting there saying, "He's crazy, it's impossible, and it will never happen." The other half of you claim that he is well-connected, an insider, and possesses knowledge that we do not, so perhaps it is feasible. Let's examine the necessary steps to reach some of these price points. So let's get started immediately. A worldwide financial, technological, and economic revolution would be required for one XRP to be worth $1 million. Such a scenario is almost structurally impossible under the present paradigms of global finance, supply limits, and competitive realities, according to a number of analysts and prominent individuals in the cryptocurrency space. Suppliers and market capitalization, claiming that because XRP has a fixed quantity of 100 billion tokens, its market capitalization would need to reach $100 quadrillion in order for it to be worth $1 million. The total value of all assets worldwide, the global GDP, and all stocks, bonds, commodities, and currencies would have to be tokenized and transferred through the XRP ledger alone, which is thousands of times smaller. Serious researchers believe that a situation in which XRP surpasses all other assets in blockchains is structurally improbable, even if it dominates cross-border payments, tokenization of real-world assets, and DEFI. The necessary macro and regulatory changes are as follows. It would be necessary for global fiat currencies to collapse or be replaced in large quantities, as well as for competitors like Bitcoin, CBDCs, and stable cryptocurrencies to drop. You're referring to the fact that Bitcoin is no longer the most valuable asset. That would be XRP, of course. CBDCs are ineffective. People no longer want to participate in government-backed currencies, As a result, the dollar, euro, yen, or any other currency would be irrelevant. All it would be is XRP. With legislative frameworks permitting a single asset to monopolize the entire financial system, XRP would have to be adopted by all significant governments and financial institutions as the only medium for global liquidity, cross-border settlement, and value storage. We've all seen this time and time again. Sometimes systems fall down, and we just seen a fantastic demonstration of why it's probably not the greatest idea to put everything on one system, regardless of what you're doing. Due to a problem with Amazon Web Services, nearly everyone who uses their phone every day and uses Discord or another app experienced a decrease in their ability to utilize it. Therefore, it may not be the best idea to concentrate all of this infrastructure on one project, but it does discuss the widespread tokenization of assets such as stocks, bonds, commodities, real estate, and even future economic output, which would need to be rotated through Ripple's ecosystem. Here are some possible situations in analyst discussion. Investors and YouTube celebrities have speculated in public that XRP will become the universal bridge asset for a trillion-dollar economy in a worldwide tokenization scenario. They mention Ripple's initiatives to develop government-backed tokenization pilots and network enhancements, but they acknowledge that these are theoretical ideas rather than practical plans. Seldom do even optimistic market projections surpass $1,000 per XRP. It has already forced the world's cryptocurrency markets to grow to unimaginable proportions, with a market value of $100 trillion. However, we are aware that market caps in the cryptocurrency arena differ from those in the actual world. It is related to the quantity of tokens that can be purchased on the open market. Additionally, you might reach some of these absurd market caps if there is no more XRP available on the open market. It is quite feasible. Do not misunderstand me. I do believe in things like 10,000, 50,000, and so forth. I do believe you may see some of these pricing if enough negative things happened in the globe and XRP stepped up to help settle those issues. There are a lot of things that would have to go wrong for $1 million. Recognizing the source of this funding, since Jake mentioned a 5-digit price of around 85%. Hold on right here. Additionally, if real estate and other rural assets are tokenized, 85% of them will be on the chain by the end of 2030. By 2030, 85% of that will be on-chain. How much money, then, are we discussing here? $654 trillion in global real estate. That's a significant amount of value that could end up on the chain. This will vary according on the country, city, jurisdiction, and the speed at which they can start implementing this. To give you an idea of where we are at the moment, less than 0.01% are currently tokenized as of October 2025. By 2025, fewer than $20 billion worth of real estate will have been tokenized. At a $654 trillion, that is. We still have a long way to go, as you can see. As of right moment, 0.001% of the 145 trillion global stocks have been tokenized. 120 trillion in global bonds. You are discussing 0.001%. In other words, we are currently not even at a quarter or half of a percent. We're still back here, way. 28 trillion in global treasuries have already been tokenized at a rate of 0.01%. 12.3 trillion in money market funds. It's less than 0.01%, you know. You currently have roughly 7.4 billion. 14 trillion in sovereign wealth funds. There hasn't been any significant tokenization of that yet. Worldwide debt, 338 trillion in global debt has not yet been tokenized. Naturally, the global derivatives market is at 0.00001% below that. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we still have a lot of work to do, but the future of some cryptocurrency assets that will account for a significant portion of the global economy is bright. We are discussing the elimination of Nostro and Vostro accounts, which require banks to maintain stale capital globally in order to transmit money using the present SWIFT architecture. You may return all of that money and spend it wisely in any bank or nation where the bank is located by using something like Ripple and RippleNet XRP. Now, I wanted to go back up here and give you a little more detail on Jake Claver's notion about a potential 1 million XRP. According to Jake Claver, XRP will reach $1 million